You're so irreplaceable, and everybody knows I want you, but I've always been so invisible to you. But I'm just waiting on you to pull back the curtains, and I've been standing on the sidelines waiting till the time's right to make you mine. 'Cause ever since the first time you opened up my world, I just can't seem to close my eyes and sleep. I'm locked inside this daydream, don't need any saving. But I need you to wake me up. Imagination is chasing after innocent love, but I've been wasting so much time living on cloud nine. Am I the only one who dreams?
Okay, we checked into our hotel room for time. Now remember, when you're in Europe, you gotta put something there. There's usually like you either put your room key or a credit card, business card, I don't know. The lights are a little dark here. I don't know what to do. Wait. No, that turns everything off. Nope, that's not what I want. Oh, wait. This? Try to turn all the lighting on. Ooh, I turned the lights on. Perfect. Okay. Front door. Controls, or because you have to put your card in, otherwise electricity won't show up in the room. To the left. To the left we have, hang on, I need to take my shoes off. To the left we have a toilet, which I have realized since being in London for only a few hours that everything is like a round toilet. This is actually a towel warmer, and the controls, you can actually turn it on out here. Like there's an icon there that you can turn it on. Yeah, that one. Oh, okay. So green means it's on, and blue means it's off. Okay. And then rain shower up there, hand shower. I'm sorry if you see the oscillating lights. It's because my frame rate is messed up right now. I have to figure out what the best frame rate is for these lights. Anyway. Yeah, so rain shower controls. Yeah, there's a rain shower in here, babe. Like a legit rain shower. And then they said like all the little snackies and stuff are, yeah, they're with the room. They're complimentary. And this is actually a kitchenette situation. So they actually have plates and cups and a microwave. Kettle, toaster, sink, the smallest sink I've ever seen, a burner, and these are the controls for the burner. What is in here? Utensil stuff we need. Utensil stuff. Looks like soap and, wait a minute. Is this a dish? Oh, it's a dishwasher. And then I'm assuming this is a fridge. Yes. Fridge that I cannot open. I will figure out later. This is an espresso machine. Never used an espresso, so that'll be interesting. Trash and recycling. Nice, love it. Now, this is our room. It's technically 2 twin beds, but you shove them together and they make a king. I don't know what that face is. So here's how we're gonna solve this. We're gonna go to these side controls here. Put the blinds down. Yay! All right. Well, that's doing its magic. TV. Lots of storage underneath the platform bed. Ooh, stuff. Oh, look, there's the ironing board and iron. I think that's the only storage down there. It looks like there's plugs here on this side. And there's also plugs on this console center over here. Now here attached to the kitchen area is this extra situation. I don't know what the heck you are. Oh, nice. A writing desk area with plugs, which means there must be chairs. Folding chairs. Yeah, these are 2 folding chairs here. There's a bunch of hangers here. Now, hanging space is kind of limited. I've seen this in some hotels, some other hotel reviews, that the hanging space is a little limited, but that's okay. We'll work with it. I'm gonna put you back. Ugh. And then, light? Yes, light. Oh. And then extra sink, in case you wanna, wait. Is there a sink in the other room? That's weird. Well, I guess if there's no, I don't remember seeing a sink in that room, in the bathroom. But if there isn't.
No, there isn't.
Thanks. Then I guess you would just wash your hands out here in the kitchen area. Okay, whatever. There's a lot of plugs everywhere, which is nice. Yeah. So this is our home for the next 6 days. Oh my God, shut up. I have a copy of The Importance of Being Earnest here. Hang on. Oh my God. So guys, funny story. It's been a couple weeks since we've been back from London, and while I was looking over the footage, I realized that I didn't really go into depth as much as I usually do when it comes to like hotel reviews and things like that, like amenities and what's available and what's not and what's nearby. And I guess I was just so like overwhelmed essentially. So I think I'm gonna do that right here, right now. So let's start with the price. So this is a little tricky in terms of how much it actually costs per night and if it's like a good deal or not, because I actually booked it with Expedia. I usually use Expedia when it comes to these big trips, when I try to lump in hotels and flights together. So it looked like it was a pretty good deal putting things together. In terms of trying to put the flight together and book it at the same time with the hotel. So that's why I use Expedia. You don't have to use Expedia, hashtag not sponsored. You can use other sites like Hotwire, Orbitz, whatever exists in your side of the world. But I used Expedia. It's just the one I always use. I've been using for years. And I booked the hotel with the British Airways flight. Now it looked pretty cheap in the beginning. So it was a 6-night stay for the hotel with round trip tickets. And together it was $2,600. I bought that in April 2022 for the trip that occurred in January 2023. And I usually do that. I usually book a couple of months ahead of time because that's usually like the sweet spot of like what would be like the lowest time However, I did add travelers insurance. I always do, especially again for those big international trips. So that took the price to $2,900 because it was for, two adults, the insurance. So it was still under $3,000 at the time, which I thought was cool. However, with British Airways, what they do is that they say you can choose your seats for free, but then there's like a little asterisk, which I didn't know about. Or maybe I didn't read the fine print. That's my bad. You can choose your seat for free before 24 hours that the flight takes off. So, if you want to book your seats ahead of time, like I did, because I have control issues and I want to make sure that I'm seated with Bay the entire time, I had to pay, I think, like $60 per person. So that was another $120 on top of the $2,900 in order to ensure that I had a seat next to my husband. So, just so you know. And that has nothing to do with the hotel. That's just British Airways things. I just wanted to be clear that $3,000, give or take, was how much it cost to book the hotel and the flight coming from the East Coast. As for location of the actual hotel, it was a highly convenient location. Just within 7 minutes or less were different stations. The Charing Cross tube and rail station were very close by. The Charing Cross station is where I got off from the Gatwick line, or from Gatwick into London. That's how I got it, through Charing Cross rail station. Also nearby is the Embankment tube station and also a ferry station where you can get the Thames Clipper Uber boat if you want. And then the surrounding areas, they have Trafalgar Square, they have bus stops, they have Covent Garden and Soho, which is very famous for very cool eateries and shops and things like that. It is a downtown area. So, I mean, there are, on the main drag, there are, to be perfectly frank, there are homeless people out there. It is a busy downtown area, but it's highly convenient if you need some sort of mode of transportation. They all have it there. On top of that, because it is located in the Soho Covent Garden area, that's technically the West End Theatre District as well. So the hotel is actually right across from the Adelphi Theatre, which at the time of recording featured the Back to the Future musical, and then also right next to it was the Vaudeville Theatre, which was playing Six, the musical about the King Henry VIII's wives. For amenities, in terms of the actual amenities that were available at the hotel, so there's no parking that I could see. It's pretty wedged in between buildings, or downtown buildings. There was no parking. There was probably parking on the street. I couldn't really tell. I didn't really look to see if there was any permit parking or something on the street, but there's also no restaurant in property. I know there are some hotels under the Wilde Aparthotel stay line, because this is a chain throughout the UK, that some of them have restaurants or like little cafes on site. This particular one didn't, but again, we were in Covent Garden. There was a lot of places to try to get food at. It is a 24-hour manned facility. I don't know. I honestly never went down to the lobby at midnight, to be perfectly honest. I was usually like in bed by 9 or 10 o'clock. But in order to get services, this could be just due to the hotel and their like hip vibes, or maybe it's a post-COVID situation. but a lot of the services were done via WhatsApp. So, for example, because it's an apartment style hotel, they didn't come in every day to check to clean up. However, if you text them on WhatsApp and just say, "Hey, I have some trash. Can you help please pick up?" They'll either respond to you with, "Go ahead, leave it outside the front door," or, "Okay, we will, come between this time." What was not in the room tour footage was that, because I couldn't open the refrigerator for whatever reason, inside the refrigerator was milk and 2 bottles of still water or still mineral water. So those are free, and you can actually text them via WhatsApp and ask them for water. Like, we did that almost every day. The latest I requested anything from them was at 9 o'clock at night, and that was just for more water. And within 15 minutes, someone was at the door dropping off some water. So it was essential to have the WhatsApp downloaded on our phone when we were there, because that helped communicate with the staff, whether it came to help please pick up trash, we need another towel, we need more toilet paper, things like that. When it came to the room itself, as you saw in the footage, there are certain sizes in American style hotels that it's very rare to find in Europe. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. The hotel rooms in Europe or the UK, or even in Europe, because it was very that was the same story when we were in Paris. They will not be the same size as the ones you see in the United States. However, with that, I felt as if the use of space was very good. Functionality wise, it was very cool. There was my only issue with the room was that it was very dark, and it most likely was the black wall, like the black painted wall, and that just kind of resulted in the lights just getting sucked in, like the reflections of the light is getting sucked in. So the whole room, especially once it hit like 5 o'clock at night, it looked like dark and moody and cool, and maybe that's the aesthetic they were going for, but there were certain times when I just needed bright lights, bright internal light, or bright LED, bright fluorescent, something, because I had a task that I was trying to deal with. So I think that was the only real negative about the hotel. The TV was a smart TV, and it was equipped with a basic cable that you expect, different types of BBCs, Food Network, Travel Channel, HGTV. I was watching USA, because I have this thing whenever I'm in a hotel room, I always watch NCIS. I don't know why, but that's just always what I do. So I was watching a lot of NCIS in the UK, again, whatever. But it also has apps on it too, and YouTube was one of the apps, so you can also just randomly watch YouTube if you feel like it. And if you ever happen to be at that hotel and you see a bunch of random Disney vlogs, it's because I was there. That's why you see it. So also the hotel is equipped with an elevator, so it is, I believe, basically accessible. They do have a wide enough front door when you at the front door at the lobby. There isn't a digital, or not a digital, but a push button that it could automatically open if you needed to. There's also an elevator. It goes all the way to the 8th floor. And I noticed that the accessible rooms were the ones that were closest to the elevator, because we were about 2 or 3 rooms away, and the one that was in the accessible room was right next to the elevator. And going back to the room, they had very comfortable. It had a very comfortable bed, considering that it was sitting like on a flat platform. The mattress was least at least a foot thick, maybe 10 inches thick. And they had really like soft, fluffy duvets. The pillows, they felt primarily down, but it was like really stuffed down. It wasn't the kind where it just kind of like flop. So that was good. And also, they had very strong Wi-Fi, which was nice. And the Wi-Fi is free. The Wi-Fi is free when you are sitting in the lobby, and it's also free when you're in the room. And they were both very strong when I had my phone attached to them. I think Bay also had his laptop attached to it, and he was able to still do homework no problem. So overall, I think it's a great hotel if you want to be in a very convenient location, somewhere where you can pick out, your different type of transportation, whether you want to go ferry or tube or rail. And even though it is technically on a main drag, it's actually like the rooms are actually a little settled back into a very quiet alley. So whatever you would hear on the main street, whether it's the theater people or like the cars and the buses and stuff, you don't hear that in the hotel room, which is really nice. So again, I do recommend it in terms of convenience, in terms of like where it's located. The only negative I would have to say about it is just and it just my personal preference is just the dark lighting or lack of lighting, or I don't know, the dark room. But again, it could just be the aesthetic, and that's their thing, and I totally get it. But I can't complain when the staff is very, very nice and very cordial. Like the staff, every person I met were amazing. And shout out to the guy who checked us in, because it's kind of funny when he asked us where we're from, and he's like, "Oh, you're from Orlando?" And he was talking about how he wants to go to Universal. So yeah, it was everyone who we met there was great. So I guess in a scale of like, would I go again? 10 being yes, 1 being absolutely not. I would probably say like a 7 or 8 or something like that. Okay? So overall, that's my review on the hotel. I'll put links to the hotel in the description box below. So that's that. The rest following this vlog will be pretty much the entire London footage. I'm just still reviewing all of it now, so yeah, stay tuned for London vlogs. Thumbs up if you liked the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time. Bye!